Is my screen showing now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So let me come again. So basically, this is what we are having, and this is what we discuss with HTML and CSS. Now, we want this website to be interactive, and a website is only interactive when if you can type in something and you see some changes happen. So let's say now you are supposed to fill this form, but instead of filling it, you did not fill anything. You just go here and click on submit. Bagam. You're gonna see an error message that will tell you that you have to fill in something. So that you can do with JavaScript because JavaScript can help you to do that. So let's say I refresh this my page again. This is the way it has to come newly. So if I try to submit without putting anything here, just the way you do when you go to Gmail or your Yahoo, you have to fill in something. If you did not fill, you submit. It's going to read out an error message that says, please enter all name and email. But now, if you're able to put name and email, it will now come down here. If you put another one, and submit, it will come down here. So as you're putting it, they are coming down. So how were you able to do that? Which is the main thing we are learning today, which is known as DOM manipulation. So to do that, what you do is that you go back to your HTML.
So how did you
How did I do
how
what?
did you now
Okay, I want to explain how I did it now. So first of all is that you have to come to the
but you won't see the this thing on the screen. It was delayed.
come again.
I said initially it will tell you that error message was just very fast, but now it's showing on the screen.
Permanently good.
It's delayed now. Initially, yeah. What did you do?
Yeah. So what I did was that in solving the error, first of all, I prevented the fault. But if you want it to be going after some time, it's always good you put it at 3 seconds. So like now, here now has to
Okay.
be 3 seconds. So if I save this back and I go back now, if I click on submit, it comes out. Then after 3 seconds, this thing will go out. You see it has gone out. Vicky, did you notice that it went
Mm.
out?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So that is the need for that set timeout so that it goes out after some time. So what we did was basically, first of all, you have to bring in the elements from the HTML. So this my form is because it's an ID. That's why it has hash. Name is also ID. Email is ID. So if you get back here, you can see all of them. This ID email is ID name, and this is ID form. ID form. So you have to bring all of them into your JavaScript before you start working on them. So to bring them in, you use this method document.querySelector. So if it is an ID, it has to be hash in front of it. If it is a class, it has to be dot. So once you finish bringing them in, you have to add event listener to the form so that everything inside the form, once you click on submit, things starts happening inside the form. So if you click on submit, what happens
Okay.
is the function that you write inside on submit. So this is your on submit, which takes event as a parameter. Now this is what happens. So it's always good you say e.prevent default whenever you want to use this to write. So what happens is that it says if there is nothing inside the name input and there is nothing inside the email input, what do I want to happen? I want an error message. You know that this error class, it had nothing on it. It was invisible. You can see message. This is the message here. So error message is a div class known as message. It does not have anything inside it. So it's anything that you put as the message, error message, that's what will come out there. So you can say if I put dot dot now and I say save, if I get back here, you see the dot dot dot. This is the place where the error message goes in. So if you click on submit, it replaces that. So if you can see now, it is nothing there because we want the error message to be coming inside this empty div. So now when we now get back here, now we now wrote the code that did that. So it was, you now created an element. So we created an element by using this message.classList.add error. So it's going to carry this error, and this error is going to always read, please add name and email, add all names and emails. I think a better thing would be to write, please add name and email. But I want it to be removed after 3 seconds. That's why I say set timeout. So you want this message to actually be removed after 3 seconds. But if somebody actually wrote something inside the name, that means those two fields are not empty. What you want to happen is that you want it to create a list item and add the values of the name and email to it and append it to the user list that you've taken from the form. Then immediately after adding it, is you make sure that those two fields are cleared up again. So that means if I add something here, once I click submit, I want these two fields to be empty, and that is actually what happens. They become empty, and that is what is here. Name.value equal to empty, name.ep. So once immediately after adding, you want them to be empty. So the code that does all this manipulation is just from here down. That's why I commented out all that we've done before. So you can see all that we did before. They are all commented out, but all of them are leading up to this form manipulation. Why is it why is it DOM manipulation very important? You're going to always be having a form to fill. Like if you're writing Jam, they provide form for you to fill. So after filling, you click on submit. If you're on Facebook or Gmail, you want to create an account. After filling in your details, you have to click on submit. So all these actions are normal actions that you see in websites. So how do they make such functionality possible? They make it possible by simply having these codes that we just had here. So here we are working on name and email alone. But in longer forms, you can be looking at states of origin, other information. You have to add them up in this, okay? So that is how you do basic DOM manipulation. Okay, so this is very technical. I wish I think you have to look at it over and over. Then you can now ask me a question in the next class. Okay, so just take note. This is the basic code that did the work. So I'm gonna just pick it up and put it on the what's it called, on the WhatsApp, so that everybody can see it and use the code to do this. Okay, I think I should also put it on the Slack channel.
Hello, sorry, the class has ended for
Yes, 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 it's ended. I just want to update the this
Okay.
channel.